The Civic Center continued to reign until there was yet another shift, this time in the industry itself, as former Civic Center Director Al Harris explains.
Expense of a concert now prohibits them coming to buildings as small as ours. If a building doesn't have 15,000 seats or up, it can't compete in today's market. And the casinos are bringing in the acts now.
Every weekend there seems to be some sort of concert happening at the casinos, just like the Civic Center had just a few decades ago. Besides the size of the venues, the meaning of a tour has become different for artists as well.
You would tour, so you would sell your CDs. Now you give your CDs away and you make money on touring. It's flipped, okay?
Ed Frugier is a musician, producer, and owner of Lake Charles Music, operating one of the only recording studios in the area after Gold Band was just recently torn down. In 1984, he built the studio to work on his own projects, like the Rocky IV soundtrack, as well as the original animated Transformers movie. But the studio, engineered to perfection, now records many of the Lake area artists as well, despite a decline in studio recording.
That machine was $76,000 just for the 24 tracks, and now you can with Pro Tools for 10 grand. You got infinite tracks recorded 192 kilohertz, which is you can't even hear if you're human. Musicians began to put these in their garage or wherever they had to, so that they could do their music. And so, a lot of studios in LA and in Nashville and in New York and everywhere have gone away because there's not a lot of business because bands are able to do that.
Technology has shaped the modern-day musician, recording in their own homes and using the internet as a platform.
Musicians love to play music, so if it's a wedding, they get paid better usually than a club. But they would like to play more in front of their fans, and cultivate the fans. And that's part of the new business model as well. They have to do that, and they do that via Facebook. They do it, via YouTube. CDs are almost passé. Now everything's, you're downloading it or you have it on a thumb drive. So all of those things have changed. I think the enthusiasm of the musicians in Lake Charles is no different than it was back in the day.
The issue for a local musician is the number of small venues. Now, that doesn't mean they don't exist here in Lake Charles. I bet you can name a few.
Whatever I was going to have anything to do with is going to have live music in it. It is the saving grace, if you will, for me.
There is one that typically sticks out as the centerpiece of downtown, Luna, owned and operated by Dave Evans.
As a music venue owner, I would love to have 100 bands to choose from. But in actuality, there's probably about 10, maybe 15. There could be some more, but they don't gig too much, So we bring in regional stuff. We bring in stuff from Louisiana, stuff from the state, all from Austin, Houston. It's easy to get that stuff coming through. They're going to New Orleans. There needs to be more. There needs to be reasons, like the festival, to have more focus on music.
And that festival is Chuckfest. Now in its fourth year, Evans started the free event to get people pumped up about what Lake Charles has to offer. Because for Evans, it may not be a lack of musicians that's become the problem, but maybe the lack of interest in live music.
There's a few venues here in town. It's hard to get your friends to come to shows. Everybody's friends are busy, Folks don't just get out and go watch live music. If we had a better live music audience.
There's still hope in the future, however. There are many programs in the area fostering creativity and music in children, local radio stations that promote local artists, and there are a lot of festivals to celebrate music and culture. Just make sure you show your support of local artists and keep live music alive. At your service, Caitlin Russ, KPLC 7 News.